channel. Let's see if Marriage Ain't for Suckers is live. Upcoming. Why does it say upcoming? I don't see nothing in that.
I don't see it on Facebook yet.
Oh, okay. 12th. It says live. Let me click the button. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so the Marriage Ain't for Suckers is live. So you're saying
Yep, nope, it's up.
Quest Green is live now?
It's up.
Yeah, the system I'm using today is not as fast as the one we normally use, so it's taking a second. So I'm glad you got it. I'm going to check my Facebook, discard post on my Facebook. Yep, so if Quest is live, then I'm live too because we like on the same live. So there he is. And we don't have that annoying thing from Restream because we're not using that today. Oh, hey, y'all. Like you always come in while we're just talking about who knows what. So thank you for joining us. That's Quest over there. And this is not Quest over here. My hat, I have a hat too, but y'all can't really see. If I put it on, you won't be able to see it. And then it'll just look like I'm hiding from you. But yeah. So I got that super white problem going on right here. If I wore a darker shirt, then this would have shown up. But yeah. All right, y'all. Let me see if there's a chat section that I can see. No. Okay. Well, hey, I'm flying blind on the chat because I can't monitor 6 today. So, yeah, Quest, I think we're going to go ahead and get that audio situation sorted out if you're ready.
Let's get it.
Okay. So, you know what's coming, right?
Yep. Quiet on the set.
Peace, y'all. It's your man Dave with my brother Quest, the man bringing you all things marriage, paying you huge dividends on your investment in time with us. We're talking about love, sex, having children, money, spirituality, life, communication, and anything else to help you thrive and win in your relationships. And guess what? This is grown folks' business. So get ready to make grown-up decisions. You know why? Because marriage ain't for suckers. That's the name of the program. Marriage ain't for suckers. All right, let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. You already know who I am. It's your boy Quest. Alongside my man, my mellow, my man. Oh, man, I never get tired of this stuff. David Harris.
Get on the mic.
And MC.
Hey, yo, Quest.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
The bell is missing on this thing. I can't even play it.
It's all right.
Class is still in session, though.
No doubt, though. No doubt, man. Let me tell you something. It's funny. We hear that music every week, and the show starts up, and I don't know, man. I never get tired of it.
Bro, we got like 100. We got more than 180 weeks of this, and ain't nothing changed but the weather, man.
It ain't nothing changed but the
I'm
weather.
thankful.
I'm more than thankful, man. I'm thankful to be able to hear that new. Yo, I promise you, man. Every week, that just the song and just to hear the intro. You know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, it knocks for sure.
That's the name of the program. You know what I'm saying?
Marriage
ain't for suckers.
Didn't we brand Nico back in the day?
We did, man.
That's good.
We did. And so, yeah, I'm actually working on some stuff. I'll talk to you more about it off the, you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to put it out there. Just
we don't have to tell everybody everything.
Yeah, but something for the family. You know.
Sweet.
So yeah, so of course everybody knows we have a blended family. So I'm working on something for the blended family. We can talk about this transitioning through and what the relationships are like and how, you know what I'm saying? Like if you might have a blended family, how you can make yours better. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that stuff soon, man. But
yes, sir.
How have things been, man?
Pretty good, man.
You gonna tell me life is life?
Yeah. I should probably just say that. Yeah. Like life is life. But then you already know I'm gonna say that. Yeah, we good though. We good.
I
We
love
good, man. I'm
it.
back at it, man. I'm hitting the bag again. That's
Oh,
a big old bag. We don't have, listen, at the gym, we don't use that shiny bag.
yeah.
This is the dense one that rip your knuckles off.
Man.
This, I don't know if that's gabardine. I don't know what that stuff is. But if
So
you're not gloved up, you're done. And
done.
it's a 200-pound bag, easy. So it
So
busts back. If you turn your back, it busts back. And toward the bottom, that thing is dense like hitting a wall, bro. It
man,
ain't no fluff on that bag, man.
I mean that sand been moist, dry, and now it done is rock.
Yeah. So the bottom of the bag below my waist, when I'm digging in there, man, it's digging back. So I'm getting my weight back up, man. I'm thankful for it. Simone said that she could see a difference. Only been 2 weeks,
Yeah,
but look like that muscle memory's kicking in, even though we old, bro.
yeah. It's funny. I was searching boxing gyms here in Charlotte recently, and I'm thinking about going into just to train. You know what I'm saying? And get those chops back up again. It's years since, you know what I'm saying, we had to use hands, and praise God we don't got to do that no more. But just to, I mean, it is I don't have to tell you because you already know the workout is no joke.
Yeah. Now I know why. So there's a trainer in the gym. He's about 260 easy.
Mm,
260. He's 6'3", and
oh
he's ignorant.
yeah,
Well, okay, sorry for non-Jamaicans. Like the dude, like you just don't mess with that guy. He
yeah.
one of those guys. Like he cool, but don't
Don't
trouble
leave,
him.
just leave him alone.
Leave him alone. And he used to say, "Boy, all day you're just hitting this thing all day," because I'm hands and feet.
Yeah.
And I never really thought about it back those years ago
Hmm.
until now I'm getting back and I'm winded.
Yeah.
So I would go easy an hour, man, without like Mayweather, except not Mayweather, because I'm on more than what Mayweather was on. Like I'm on
Yeah.
hands, feet, elbows,
Yes.
ridge hands, all that.
Yeah.
And now I understand why he used to say it, even as an athlete, because my wind ain't back up yet. So I'm 5 minutes, and I'm like, whoa. So I'll get it back up in the next, about month. I'm back up to gas, no gas. Like I don't have to worry about gassing anymore.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
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 I'm
so
thankful, man. We old, man. So
yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna say we up there in number. I don't want to say we old.
brother, can I just say, you don't have to say it. I'm gonna just say 2 words to you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can agree or disagree with me.
Yeah.
Achilles tendon.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Now you let me know.
Yep. Yep.
Cause
You win. You win.
Cause my little dude was like, yo, he's 12. He was like, yeah, when I'm playing basketball, whatever. And he was like, man, but you're gonna rip, cause I see your muscles are coming back. You're gonna rip the rim. I
Yeah.
said, oh no, I'm not. I said, no, I'm not,
Yeah. No.
because Uncle Quest was
Yeah.
playing like a young boy a few
Yeah.
years ago and
Yeah.
ripped his Achilles. I said, I'm draining it.
Not once, but twice. You win. You win.
Exactly.
You
I'm
win.
draining it like an old dude. I'm not playing with y'all, man. I already know who I am.
You win. You
No
win.
thanks.
You win. So real quick before we jump off into
Yes,
today's
sir.
topic, I'm all about in this season learning, you know what I'm saying, object lessons from life's experiences. What are some of the things you learning while you hitting the bag in the gym?
I'm learning about pride,
Yep.
to don't be proud. So
Wow.
for instance, when I went back 2 weeks ago, and of course I laced them up, man. I got the new MMA joints, not my old ones that were there for 3 years rotten.
Hmm.
And I said, before I got to the gym,
Yeah.
this is not 3 years ago.
Hmm.
Pace yourself,
Hmm.
because I can get hairline fractures. I can break my wrist.
Yeah.
So don't show off. Like don't come in the gym
Yeah.
trying to show off.
Yep.
Just pity pat this thing until you get your heart rate back.
Yep.
And then when you start getting all the stuff in between starts to get rigid again and strong,
Yep.
then you can go full bore. But right
Yep.
now, if you play yourself with pride, you're
I'm
going
sorry.
to injure yourself.
Play yourself. Yep. It's funny, D, because I was having this conversation with my father the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and my father is
Shout to Big John.
71 now. Big John is 71 now,
Yes, sir.
about to be 72.
Okay.
And he said, I'm pressing in the gym, 50-pound dumbbells, 55. I said, and
Your
he's like,
pops?
yeah, my pops. I'm
Wow,
pressing
that's cool.
50, 55. So he said, I can't get above that though for some reason. And I'm like, he said, because what ends up happening is when I go to the 60-pound dumbbell, I'm trying to do the same amount of reps. I was like, no, daddy, if you're going up in weight, decrease the reps. So if you do 10 reps on
Yes, sir.
55, if you go to 60, do 8 or 6 until you get comfortable. He said in his mind, he feel like he should be able to do the same 10 reps on the 60. And I'm just like, yo, okay, you're getting older now. And he said, I'm quite aware that my body don't operate the way that it used to. Yes. So that means you're going to have to ease yourself because there's a science to this whole thing. When you
Bro.
hitting the bag and, you know what I'm saying? There's also a science to lifting these pounds if you want to increase muscle mass at the age that we're at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't
Listen,
just jump into it like when we was 22 and
Listen, when I was at it when I was 22, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. That's when I was still, because I was thick
yeah,
before then, and then I came down to being like slim.
yeah.
And while I was slim, I was doing stuff you wouldn't believe in the gym, right? And people like, "What are you on?" I'm like, "I'm on rice and peas, bro. Like, I'm not on nothing."
Yeah, I'm
Right?
eating what Usain Bolt is eating.
Yeah. So when I was on the press, man, I was going up 15, 20 pounds, maybe twice a week. Then I'm talking about in my 20s, bruh. 5 years ago when I was doing it here, bro, I was strong.
Yeah.
But when I was under the weight and I was trying to go up 5, 10, 15 pounds a week, I felt like my body was coming apart.
Yeah.
Literally, like I felt like it was coming apart. And I said, okay, the 40-something-year-old Dave, at that time, I think I was 45. I was like, that guy is not the same boy that was in there the years ago. Yeah. And today, even the trainer, the big crazy trainer I was telling you about, he was teasing me today about when I turned 45, he had me do 45 reps. He wasn't even training me. Nobody was training me, but he was like 45 reps. So I'm 45 reps. I don't know how much weight I was under. Full long bar, 45 reps. I let this dude coax me into doing that. I ain't letting that happen again, bro. That's not.
Again.
I'm good on that. Like pride is not. It goes before destruction and a fall. I ain't doing that.
Fall. And when you're in the gym, the fall will take you out the gym for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, man. So shout to Daddy John, but no, man, we good on the 50. Go ahead on the 50s, pops.
Yep.
And bring those reps down to 6 if you go up. But don't go up. What you doing that for? You're not getting paid for that. Come on now.
I made it at the 70 and I pressed 3 and then I put them down. I was like, yep, that's it. The 3 is good enough. I just want to know I can press it.
For now, you can keep doing it, but just easy, man.
Yeah, easy. I'm just
use your chest, not your shoulder. You're gonna rip your shoulder.
I'm telling you, it's a science to it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely a science, and sometimes our mind and our body be moving in 2 different directions. Yep. But I'm learning as I get older to listen to my body a little bit.
and listen to it early. Like talk to your body. Say, hey, how you feel about this? And if it agrees with you, then touch it. Yeah. But don't put too much on them. Because we don't have nothing to prove, man. I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah, nah.
I got nothing to prove.
Pay attention.
Now that we got the cobwebs knocked out.
You know what I'm saying? What we on today, D?
Yeah, so your marriage is not just for you, Quest.
Yeah.
So keep the faith know that. Yeah. If she doesn't already know, of course she knows.
Some people are under the impression that it is, though.
Yeah. And Simone is on. Simone is on. Carmen is on.
Oh, shout
to Carmen. She running the world right this moment. And but listen, so what kind of triggers this discussion for me is when Simone and I got married 21 years ago. I like saying that. I like saying 21 years ago. Mm-hmm. You don't have no problem with that, do you, bro?
No.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah. So when we got married 21 years ago, man.
As a matter of fact,
Why, thank you. I'm thankful.
Yeah, because really and truly, you just don't stumble up on 21 years. You really
No. So we're thankful. And what happened was, and shout to Ron and Deria Gadsden. Yeah. Gadsden. They could be our parents, but they're not.
Yeah.
Ron was we were all at the same church.
Mm-hmm.
Ron was a church administrator, had been fresh off of what do you call it? Retirement from IBM. He did 35 years, and then
Yeah.
And Daria and I worked together in higher education, like every day. She's my literal best friend. Like, I don't keep women as best friends,
Right.
but because she's her, like Daria Gadsden, mature self, is like my best friend that's not Simone.
Mature self.
Yes. But what Ron and Daria did with Simone and I immediately was they said, we want to go on a double date. Bro, we're going on a double date with people that could be our parents. But it was a double date.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't really care because I loved them. Like
Yeah.
Ron and Daria, like I love them.
Yeah.
But when we got on the double date, they ease into some some discussion and whatever. And then they dropped it on us. Boom. Marriage is a ministry.
Oh, no doubt.
Your marriage is a ministry. And they started to break that thing down over whatever food we were eating, man. And from that day forward, bro, Simone and I have seen marriage as a ministry to other people, man. And listen, when you go in with the awareness, it completely changes the game. We got babies looking at us, and I say babies affectionately. I mean, people that can be preparing for marriage themselves, looking at us and saying, yo, you've restored, and we're not trying, we're prayerful.
Mm-hmm.
You have restored our faith in the institution and
Big.
blessing of marriage.
Big, big, big.
And I'm like, Lord, how thankful can I be? Because I've said it many times on this program that I come from a broken situation and generations before me, same thing.
Yeah.
So for people to find something positive in our authentic, look at this. See that DNA behind me, man? Master your authenticity.
I saw that this week, by the way. Dope.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for it to be real, authentic, human, yes,
Yep.
but now we're connected to God. And for
Yeah.
people to find a reason to say, you know what, maybe marriage isn't as bad as I thought it was.
Well,
That's what we're talking about today.
I think to that point, because I really and truly, I want you to spend some time in sharing with us, because I'm interested in hearing, especially from older couples who have that level of wisdom, and we're talking within the context of marriage, right? I'm interested in hearing what they had to say. But before that, I think what makes marriage difficult for most people is selfishness. Is not achieving the fullness of singleness. We talked about what that was before. So our problem is not singleness. Our problem is in being single.
Say that again, please. Slow it down.
Yeah, our problem is not in singleness. And some people are like, oh, well, what's the difference? Singleness is being unique, separate, and whole, right? When I say separate, I mean set apart for, like, when you get to, believe it or not, when you get to that point in relationship where it's dedicated relationship and you're moving towards marriage, you just said it a while ago, your marriage is a ministry. So once God has allowed you to be in that place and space, and there's a wrong way to do this and a right way to do this, and you do it the wrong way, you will suffer the consequences. I find that most people who have not achieved the fullness of the state of singleness, separate, unique, whole, right?
Whole. I like it.
Set apart, right? If they don't achieve that state of singleness, then marriage becomes a sour experience. Because of selfishness, you depend on people to meet the needs or meet the areas in which you're missing, and that is a bottomless pit. And so they can never do enough to satisfy you. They can never do enough to make you happy. And that's what I believe makes marriage difficult. If I come into this relationship being unique, separate, and whole, all right, let me ask this, D. Is there ever a time in our marital relationship where we will lose our identity, lose who we are, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
Not if it's a healthy marriage.
All right, there we go.
So you have two potential, at minimum, I'm saying, two potential challenges.
Yeah.
Like, so if somebody is losing his or her identity in marriage, it's because, one, there's brokenness on the one whose identity is being lost,
Mm-hmm.
right? So something that needs to be healed,
Mm-hmm.
and I won't go deep into that.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
the other person is abusive
Yep.
and
Yep.
they're creating in their mind, or at least attempting to create, a robot that says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and bows and scuffles.
And guess what? They're saying yes, sir, and no, ma'am, to something that they don't even know to satisfy, because the person that they're trying to satisfy doesn't even know what satisfies
Yeah,
them.
that individual is definitely sick in the mind.
Bro. So
Straight.
that's the part for me, is in terms of them not being happy as far as marriage is concerned. But I'm interested in hearing, D, what was some of the things that this couple shared with you while y'all were breaking bread as it relates to marriage being a ministry?
Yeah. So I can only remember one thing, because the marriage as a ministry floored me.
Yeah.
So I was listening, but it was just like, okay, all
Yeah.
right, like shut up and show me where to sign. Oh, we're already married, right? But one of the things that I'll talk about Daria first. Well, that's where I'm going to stay.
Mhm.
She spoke about how, okay, so you know that men in the traditional sense, in a Christian sense,
Mhm.
are covering for the wife.
Yes.
The husband, I should say,
Yes.
covering for the wife.
Yes.
And it means so much, but it's positive. Let's just take for granted that this is positive. However, Daria talks about, because her husband, Ron, is a leader
Mm-hmm.
in so many ways, but including in a faith community.
Mm.
And she would say stuff like, somebody would call on the telephone, a woman would call on the telephone late at night, or not even late at night. Take out that part. Call on the telephone and say, may I please speak with Elder Gadsden? And she would say, this is Elder Gadsden.
Wow.
No. That's not.
No,
That's
no, no,
not.
no, no,
That's
no.
not
Slow
who I'm
down.
talking about.
Slow down. She would answer the phone.
She would answer his phone.
Because I have a strange feeling I know where you're going with this, but I just need you to slow down just a little bit. She would answer the phone. The person on the other end is looking for Elder Gadsden.
Elder Mister.
Elder Mister, which is her husband.
Yes, sir.
Oh, come on. And she answered and said, this is Elder Gadsden.
No, she would say hello.
Hello, of course.
And then after the request to speak with
Yes.
Elder
Yes. I'm there.
Mister,
Yes.
she would say, this is Elder Gadsden. And, on the other end, it's like, no. That's not what that's not who I'm talking about. She's like, how may I assist? How can I help you? And for them, and we adopted this, by the way, just in a different way. I'll come back to that. What this meant was, and I won't go into their thing. I'll stop right there and say what this all means. Their thing is, there is a level of assistance that a man can safely give to a woman that's not his wife. And where the lines are blurry, even though he's technically covering for Mrs. Elder,
Yep.
she is being protective in this instance of the sanctity, not because anybody is suspicious or anything like that, nothing to do with any of that. But the whole thing was for them that there is but so much value that me as a man, I'm putting it on me now, can add to a woman safely who's not my wife. Therefore, it's a team effort. If we're going to be of assistance to someone, a woman,
Yeah.
and I'm being real generic with this. I mean, obviously there are, some exceptions and age groups and all that kind of stuff, right? But it's a package deal.
Yeah.
We about to help her.
Yep.
It may not be, two people sitting in the room at the same time. Look at me, bro. I can't have a coaching session without Simone over my shoulder. Can y'all see that?
Yo,
For
yo,
those who are listening on the podcast, you can't see it, but if you're watching, you can see Simone's with me at all times, even if she's not physically.
here's the funny thing, to your point. Many a times I've been in a coaching session and I felt that I articulated a thing beautifully, but some part of me says that it's not going to hit as hard as it needs to hit unless I invite her and she comes and says the same thing I said in her own way. Many a times the wife has been like, oh, okay, when you said it, I got it. But when she said it, it hit different.
Yeah, man.
Right?
And it's protective.
And it's very protective, right? Because I don't want you to think that it's me and your husband against you. I want
So
you
many.
to understand, because like for real, because sometimes, if you're not whole, hallelujah, if you're not whole in your marriage, sometimes you could think in a coaching session that is you and the counselor against me. Matter of fact, it's been many a men where they went to a woman coach and they were like, oh, it's you and my wife against me. I'm going to show you. I brought my wife in here just to show you for protective measures, not only for me, but for you too.
Game changer. Keep the faith.
Right? Not
Yeah.
only that, Faith is not the upfront, out in the front kind of person, but because I've been doing what I've been doing for a minute, some way, somehow, the Holy Ghost catch fire in her bones. And in the middle of me speaking, she'd be like, hold up, daddy. Let me just
Pause.
check this piece right here. I'm talking about in the middle of a conference when I'm speaking, right from the side, she's sitting, hold on.
Excuse me.
Uno
I got something to
momentito,
say.
por favor. You know what I'm saying? Mira, papi, uno momentito.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
silencio tú.
yo, I'm telling you, she'll jump right in there. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So to your point, it is just that. And the more and more I'm thinking about it, the ministry has to be a strong one. Because if no one is coming to ask you
Aye.
about how to do particular things in relationship, specifically in marriage, then there's a great chance that you might not be doing marriage right.
Bro.
Because see, here's the funny thing, D. Like, you might ask me for 2 stacks because 2 stacks I can do. You might not ask me for $1 million because I can't furnish that off the rip. And so the same thing is true. People will come to ask you for what they think you can do. They're not going to ask you for what they don't think you can do.
You know how many times I have recommended that somebody talk to somebody and they're like, nah, I can't do that. It's you. And it's not that I'm feeling flattered by it. I'm actually disappointed that there have become elite couples.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a place for it, but it's our reality. The reality is that because of brokenness and selfishness and sin, there has been sort of developed a space where it's like iconic couples. And I'm thinking, wow, how can we get to where successful and phenomenal marriages are status quo? I know that's a pie in the sky, but I just wish if I had to pick a pie in the sky, that would be the one I would pick.
Okay. So if that's the case, then here's the conclusion I've been coming to as of late. Is that I've said it over and over again, and I realize that the more that I read and the more that I study, that I might be saying it in error. Marriages are the cornerstone of community, right?
Agree.
But
So far, so good.
I have extended it to say that if marriages fall apart, neighborhoods fall apart, if you will, which is true. But I also realize more and more now I'm grasping hold to this myth of singleness because I realize that marriage is not the least common denominator, if you will. Us as individuals are the least common denominator. As a matter of fact, it's written right there in Genesis. Marriage didn't start with a couple. Marriage started with an individual.
Yeah, I think I can add something to it to for the people who are like, okay, what just happened?
Yeah.
So so let me start with marriage. Marriage propagates the human family,
Yes.
right? So there, and I know that people can get all detailed. I'm not getting into those. I'm not going in the weeds with y'all, right? Ideally, if everything works out, Adam and Eve came together and they had children. Propagation of human family. I'll just keep it as simple as that.
So I said it
Yes,
wrong a while ago.
No. You didn't say it wrong, bro.
No. In terms of marriage is the cornerstone of humanity.
Yes.
Singleness is the cornerstone of community.
So what I'm gonna do
to be married in order to form community.
Right. So I'm gonna circle back and then we talk about it.
Okay.
So I wanted to say that, not to correct you.
No. I know. I was just thinking. Oh, I said that wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we circle back to the singleness concept, the principle. I'm gonna call it principle because before Adam had the woman named Eve, he and God were one away together. So Adam got his job. Adam got his purpose. Adam received command from the one who loved him, meaning creator. Adam won away with God. He is as complete as an individual can be. As an individual can be.
Slow down, D, because that's heavy. He knew who he was.
Yes, sir.
What he was.
Yes.
Where he was, and what he was supposed to be doing.
And from where he came.
And from where he
came.
His
origin.
Major. Because
Major.
if you know those things, then you pretty much are whole. And you carrying out. You're whole. You're a whole.
You're gone clear.
You're gone
now.
Clear.
So we're whole. And now I'm gonna okay, I'll come back in a second. So Eve now, before God presents her to Adam. So Adam's
like the way, say that one more time, because I like the way that you say that.
Yes, sir.
Some people say that he gave her to him. Yeah, no.
So this has to be tactical in my little mind here.
Yeah, I like that.
So before God presents Eve to Adam, Adam is asleep, completely unconscious. And God, with Eve, went away again.
Yeah.
And all of what we just said about Adam, minus the thing about job, that's a different discussion. That didn't come up in the discussion, but he created her whole. She's perfect. She represents the nurturing attributes of God's character. And she's having this one-away relationship with her creator. She is just as whole, just as powerful, and independent. But now he wakes Adam up.
Yeah.
And God makes the presentation. He makes Adam aware that this is what's going to complete you. Now, I need to like split the hair here because we just said something about completeness and all of that, right? Before.
Come on.
So I'm just going to use two words, even though they're synonyms, but just to make the point. So when Adam was by himself with God, he was whole. When Eve was one away with God, she was whole.
For those who might be wondering, D, I just wanted to, for the simple people like me, right? When you say whole, you mean like, he was perfectly fine with his job.
Yes.
With his identity.
Yes.
What he was supposed to be doing.
Mental and emotional health.
To be doing it. Yes. He was fine with just him and his relationship with God.
Correct.
He didn't even know that he needed someone else.
So you're like, okay, if you're listening and you're having a simple mindset at the moment saying, well, how can someone who is all of that be incomplete and whole at the same time?
Well, here's the funny thing. It wasn't for us to decide that. It was God who said.
He said that.
It was not Adam.
No, Adam didn't say that.
He didn't know as far as he was.
No, he was good. I mean, he noticed some things in nature. I'm going to come back to that in a moment.
And this is why the myth of singleness discussion is so deep, right? Because it was God who stepped in and said, it's not right that man should be alone.
So she now, Eve, helps complete a whole, healthy man.
Okay, good. The alone part, right?
All one. He's all one. Spell it. Just take an L out of it. All
So
one.
all
He's
one.
one.
Yes. So, but I just want to differentiate the two. So singleness is unique, separate, whole, right?
Hold. Correct.
The definition of alone, though, because and I want to be specific, because there's a difference between singleness and being alone. Because some people think that I'm alone or I'm lonely.
Lonely. Let's
And
use
just-
lonely in this
let's use
context.
lonely. All
Yeah.
right. And so because I'm lonely, what I want to do is get married so I can rectify the issue of loneliness that I'm experiencing. When truth of the matter is, you don't have to be married in order to rectify the situation of alone or loneliness.
Loneliness.
So if singleness is unique, separate, and whole, then
Yes.
loneliness is apart or isolated from others without aid or help.
All right. So I think you just set this up. So if Adam now in his perfection is all one, alone, he's whole. We've already painted the perfectly positive picture of him. And now Eve is presented. She's all of what we said about Adam in terms of perfection too. But it was not good for, and I'm not going to put a marriage context on this, y'all. So just don't be afraid of this. It was not good that Adam, male, now we're going to biology. Adam, male, to be without a counterpart who was equal, who is also whole, but it's a she.
Yeah.
Because every other creature that Adam had given a name, and it was the name that God had in mind, had a counterpart, someone of the same species that made the picture. In this case, now we're going to the human species, Homo sapien. Like we're going there. Now we have, with male and female biologically,
Come on,
a
D.
complete picture of who God is.
Come on, get surgical.
And then it gets better in terms of seeing it. It doesn't have to be you and somebody, but in terms of the world being able to see a picture now, it's not just now male, female, but now male, female in healthy marriage relationship. Gives us the fullest possible image of who God is, because he's complete in and of himself.
Oh, come on.
But we need to see, well, what is God like? You get now? So this is about what is God like. I can see something in Adam. I can see something in Eve. But when Adam and Eve come together, oh my word.
I'm when I'm by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. Come on.
Something changes in the atmosphere. So that is not to say, circling back, and I'll be done right here. That is not to say that every human being must be married.
No.
But I promise you that there must be a male, there must be a female in the human race in order for the human race to have a chance of representing their creator. Whether they're married or not, that's a different discussion.
Once again, D, I'll say it. So the problem is not with
Being single. It's not being single is not a problem. That's not a negative. That's not a problem. Correct.
It's being single, that's the problem, because you don't want to take the time that it takes to be unique, separate, and whole. Let's just be honest. We face some stuff coming up, but I can guarantee you that if you get married without being unique, single, and whole, then here's the truth of the matter. You will experience a sour relationship.
Parasite alert.
Exactly. But then there's some D who were saying, well, you know what? I have not experienced the fullness of singleness, but I'm married. Here's the funny thing about that dynamic. You can still do what you need to do, because all marriage will do is highlight how unsingle you are, how much you are not unique, how much you're not operating in a unique way. You are not operating in a separate way, meaning set apart, and you are not operating in wholeness. And once marriage highlights how unsingle you are, then what you need to do is work on those areas, make the adjustments, and work towards singleness in your marriage.
All right, man, that's so smart. Watch this, Quest. I wish I had a traditional calculator up in here, but I don't. This little thing right here,
Yes.
if I go on a calculator on it, right? Oh, and for those who are listening, I'm holding up my old iPhone 7. If I go in the calculator app and I go 1 plus
Yeah, addition's going to be off, bro.
1
Yeah.
equals
2.
But if I go 1/2 plus 1/2,
Yeah.
so here where I'm going.
Oh, I love it.
God said the two
shall become.
shall become
Yeah.
Ikhad, one flesh,
Yeah.
complete,
Heavenly.
compound unity in the same way that God our Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit are one.
Okay.
Attention!
So if I go into this relationship as fragmented,
Yeah.
then I'm not going in as 1 plus 1. I'm going in as broken little bits of pieces.
Come on.
And then it's not hopeless, but I'm saying this is the basis of the challenges of a lot of relationships, that people go in to marriage fragmented and then wonder why they're not unified, why they're not one, why it doesn't look as good as whatever the ideal is in their mind. That is the reason. Right there, so.
I love it. Let's bring it full circle now,
Let's go.
because we started off with marriage as a ministry, but we laid all of this foundational groundwork. This is the reason why, because when you do it without doing what we just finished talking about,
Yes.
then there's this division that takes place. Right? And people
Yep.
get a skewed vision of not only what marriage is, but ultimately who God is, because marriage is a reflection.
That's the only reason why any of this stuff matters. Can I just say that? Y'all can argue. I don't have a problem with you arguing, but I promise you that I'm closed-minded on this one.
I'm closed-minded as well.
The main purpose, if that's a good way to say it, of marriage is to represent God, the relationship between God and the people he created.
Tell it.
This is why marriage is so pivotal, and why successful marriage is necessary. Because if and when something goes sour in our marriage to where it breaks, I'm saying, not to where it's challenged, not to where it needs some assistance, not to where we have to work on this or whatever, but to where it breaks and we just say, forget this is not gonna work again.
Come on. Come on.
Now we have, and it's not a diss to anybody. I need y'all to get that. But what has happened is that the image of our Creator has been broken where that relationship is concerned.
Come on, D. No
You see?
wonder the divorce rate is at 50%
Where? Where's that? In where?
in the States.
Okay, but where else? In the world or inside faith communities? Whoops.
Ooh.
Can we just say both?
Yeah, because it's slowly but surely it never used to be that way, but it's slowly but surely creeped in.
So now if I go back 21 years and hear Ron and Daria Gadsden saying your relationship is a ministry, now I'm sensing the responsibility of, wait a minute. So you mean when people see us? I said us, bro. I didn't say priest of the home.
Yeah.
I said us, Simone and I. And he created man and called their name Adam. Look that up. I got no time for it today.
Yeah.
He called their name Adam. So when people look at Simone and I, when people look at Quest and Faith,
Need to
Faith
slow
and
down.
Quest,
You need to slow down. You need to slow down. You moving you're moving really fast.
When people
I'm sure
see
that
us,
somebody blew across the fact that, like, for real, because I know where you are. He called their name Adam, which gives support to the fact that the two shall be.
brother. So, since we're on audio too and they can't see us pausing visually, I don't want them to think that the thing shut off on them. Yeah. So God did that, and so now when people see Quest and Faith, Faith and Quest, they see David and Simone, Simone and David,
Yes.
whether they know it or not, because God put that in our DNA.
Yeah.
See, I'm on that DNA. It's behind me. It's master your authenticity. That's what I'm on, bro. And that's where I'm going to stay until the king comes. So God put it in us to see and expect that that relationship represents our origin. That is our creator. Whether we understand it or not, whether we accept it or not, the fact, full stop, is that this represents relationship between God and humanity, or human beings if you don't like humanity. And therefore, I, as a 21 years ago, just married dude, now have this responsibility in my brain that says, oh my, wait a minute. So there's certain ways that I will love Simone. Because if I choose not to, I need to be real as active as I can in this language. If I choose not to, then I'm giving people a wrong view of holy creator. What? Now, I don't want no part of that, bro. I do not want to misrepresent him that way.
Because
I'm not interested.
Come for that stuff.
Huh?
There's repercussions that come with that stuff. I don't care what nobody say. It's
Yeah, I'm not for that. I'm not about that life. I'm good on that.
Yep.
That's right. Wayne and Nadine. That's right. Wayne and Nadine. That's right, brother. Put yours in there too, brother. Yes.
Here's what I've understood. Every time I'm very careful. I remember one time we was at the Walmart, and we were in the park
At the Walmart, bro.
At the Walmart, bro.
Oh my goodness, you need to go back north and visit.
Yep, and bro, it was a couple. I don't know if they were husband and wife. I couldn't tell. But when I tell you they were going at it, and I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about verbally, going at it, calling each other out, each other's name, and all kind of stuff. And my heart bled for them because they have no understanding of who is watching and who is taking in. Like, that's what they like, for real. I've always been under the guise that when you get married, from the time that you stand on that pulpit or that wherever you are, vestibule, I don't care where you are, and you say I do in front of whoever's officiating and witnesses, you have officially become a ministry. And people will watch you from that day forward and always are under that light that says, if that's what marriage looks like, then I want that for me. Or if that's what marriage look like, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. Not realizing that what they're looking at supersedes just the relationship that you have with your spouse. It is a direct reflection of our relationship with God. So in essence, when people walk around and you get that news, D, that we putting out today, that the marriage is a reflection of our unity with God and man, right? And well, if that's what the relationship look like, then I don't want to do nothing with God neither. That's crazy right there. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I don't want them repercussions, B.
Can I just say the opinions that I will express at this moment are mine alone.
Not necessarily.
Do not necessarily represent the Greenhouse Rules community or Mr. Green over there. However, but listen, man, if people are disrespecting each other, and like there are people who have already been divorced, some of whom are elders to me that are finding hope in this relationship. So, and so my disclaimer was based on this, Quest. And listen, I need y'all to get this as simply as I'm trying to say it, even if I'm not a good communicator right here. I understand that sometimes, unfortunately, I'm going to say divorce is necessary. I'm not going to write it out for you because then you're going to argue with my details. So I'm not getting into that. But can I say this, Quest? And you're my brother. You've been through divorce.
Absolutely.
One of our other brothers, Joey, who's starting his coaching is based on this. He's married now, but was divorced before. Like, right. So there are times that it happens.
Yep.
But can I just say that God doesn't divorce us?
Oh. No
And what I'm
matter
saying
what
to
you
you,
do.
can I say to you
Oh, come
that,
on, bro.
and because I went through this thing years ago, because remember, I'm from a broken situation. I was born in a situation where it was broken from I was born, even though they were together in the house. And then they just said, you know what, we're done with this. Right. So I've had to really kind of process this stuff as a young boy and grow up and decide, like, am I going to get married? And so when I got baptized at 23, something started to click in my mind, because I said, wait a minute, God hates divorce. Okay, so if this is about relationship with God, how is it that some people will lose connection with God and then not go to heaven? How is this possible, God? And you know what he told me, bro? Right in the Bible, just in a different language. He said, I didn't divorce them. They decided they didn't want to be with me. He had every grounds. He had every right, even biblically, to say, this marriage is over because you cheated on me. Humans, you cheated on me. But he decided, and I'm not telling y'all, I'm not giving y'all a prescription for your marriage. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is what I observed. And I said, but wait, so unrepentance, people who choose to continue to go against God with no remorse, they don't care about the relationship anymore. Those individuals separate themselves from God. Sometimes our spouses do the same thing. But I'm just saying what I observed. God never divorced his people. Ever. Full stop. Even though he had the right to do it.
Oh, and he could have dealt with them accordingly a number of times.
Yeah. But we're not like him. And unfortunately, sometimes, like I said to you, I'm not down with divorce, but sometimes it is necessary. So don't write me. Please don't text me. Don't tell your pastor or elder or nobody that I said that under every single circumstance, you will sit there and whatever with your man. I did not say that. Oh. What I said was that God could have divorced us and he didn't.
Never did.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm blown away. So me now, as a married man, somebody put out there in Facebook land like 2 years ago, they said, yo, what if your wife, this is how it was written. What if your wife cheats on you? Will you divorce her? So you know I'm technical. I'm air traffic control, bro.
Yeah.
I'm super technical. So I type.
It's funny because I get technical when it comes to this stuff too.
But for this, yeah.
For this.
Situational.
Anything else, I'm
of course. I was like, yo. I was like, when you say your wife,
yeah,
are you talking about like this theoretical your? Or are you talking about my wife, like Simone?
Yeah.
Who I've been friends with since 91, that I first ran into in 90, and we got married 21 years ago. Are you talking about her or a theoretical wife?
Come on, talk the truth.
So my wife, and we've talked about it, not that I think that she would, but we talk about it because we love marriage. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I am not divorcing Simone. I'm not going to do it. Now, God forbid that some dude thinks that he's supposed to come into my situation and cause my wife to be an adulteress. He going to have a problem. but I am not throwing my wife away, bro. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be happy and we're going to have to deal with things quietly and that's none of your business. But my friend Simone, the one that I've for 30 how much years and we've been married for 21? No, bro. There's nothing she can do to make me divorce her, bro. There's literally nothing that Simone can do. I will not let her beat me. We might have to separate because I'm not going for that. But God forbid that you should think that I'm going to divorce Simone. That ain't going to happen, bro. Not as long as I got my right mind.
We would have to have a conversation anyway before you did it anyway. So.
Correct. Because we are a unit. Me and Quest, we're a unit.
Yep.
So I said a lot. Simone said I'm stuck. That's right. Yeah. Shout to Kareem, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So y'all can take from that what you want to take from it. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody, but I'm just letting you know how I am right this moment, right?
Yep.
Full stop. That's the decision we made, bro.
Once again, now you're speaking to, because people will give you all kinds of arguments as to why you have the right to be able to do that. But once again, when you are single, when you are unique, when you are separate, and more importantly, when you are whole, you can make decisions that everybody else can't make.
Yeah. So it's theoretical until or unless you're in a situation. So I'm not writing y'all a prescription except for love and honesty, authenticity. And the details can get you all twisted talking in these kind of settings. So I'm not going to play myself by saying what happens if this, are you supposed to that? I'm not doing that today, Quest. I'm out of that one.
Yes. I'm out of it with you.
Yeah.
Like for real, we'll just leave you with this today. Love your spouse. Realize that you need to be whole in order to properly operate in this thing called marriage. Because if you're not whole, like I said, all marriage will do is highlight it. Once you highlight it, it would behoove you to make the necessary adjustments. Because whether you realize it or not, you took a vow. And that vow means something. The word declares that it would have been better for you to not take a vow than to take a vow and not keep it. You feel me? Keep the vow. Realize that your marriage is a ministry. Realize that people are watching you. And if you acted, I'm telling you, I'm careful with faith in public, especially when we at church. I'm rubbing on Faith, sitting up under her and showing her all the love. Why? Because I want to send the message intentionally and unintentionally that we are a unit. Although we are two different individuals, we, as Maze and Frankie Beverly would say, we are one.
That's right. We're interdependent.
Yes, sir.
Somebody put a thing, and I know you're closing us off. Simone sent me something. I think Josiah sent it to me after she connected with him about it or something. I don't remember. But it was a triangle. It was some random woman whose voice I heard. And it was a triangle. And at the top of the triangle, the word G-O-D is there. And then either left or right was alternate, like husband and wife, right? And she, for like, I don't know, 3 minutes or so, was like, this is a triangle. This is how marriage works. The closer, and she's riding you up the lines on the right and left sides. The closer you get to God is the closer you get to one another.
Come on.
Bro, I got that immediately because I'm visual. I looked at that thing and I was like, this is one of the best illustrations I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
Because I'm riding up the lines on both sides, going up to G-O-D at the top, husband and wife on the other. And I said, whoa, this is literally true. Like as literal as you can get. Yep. This is true. But conversely, she said, but the farther you get away from God, then the farther apart you get from one another.
True.
Oh my goodness. Who is this woman? She's so brilliant. Yeah, but flesh and blood did not reveal that to her. Just saying. That's it.
Man, I think we chopped it up today, man. And
I think that's it.
Man, D, I appreciate you for this because this is heavy on so many levels. And so if you watching the podcast, if you listening to the podcast, do me a favor. If you're listening to the podcast, like it, subscribe. If you're watching it, send it to a friend who you think might need it, man.
Yeah.
And stay focused.
There you have it, y'all. Peace. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. Marriage is about mutual love and mutual respect, and it works for those willing to make it work. Real talk, our spouses are treasured jewels given to us to make life better. And the sooner we learn to value one another will be the sooner we become the absolute best versions of ourselves we can be. Until next time, peace.